Perfect.
Welcome into Tips for Gamers. Today we're going to be going over the best, hands down, the best X Factor abilities and superstar abilities for wide receivers and tight ends. Make sure, guys, if you guys like our content, help us out by hitting that like button and comment down below. And if you want to see other great content with football, you got to make sure to follow our other channel, Club Level Sports. We'll have in the link description below. Make sure to subscribe to that. We're going to be producing content on that really soon this upcoming week, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, we got a question for you guys. Who do you think is better right now? Do you think Devontae Adams or Cooper Kupp? Who would you rather have on your team right now? So like we said, this is going to cover both simulation and a user play. And if you haven't seen our quarterback abilities video, you got to watch that as well. One thing you need to take with a grain of salt is the words that Madden uses. Okay, because like yak 'em up here. This is not one we recommend, and we'll go into the reasons as to why. When they enter the zone, they are nearly guaranteed to break their first post-catch tackle. Now, you'll find other X factors that'll say almost guaranteed, nearly guaranteed. You know what I mean? It's just word salad. I'd rather them go PFF on me and tell me exact percentages, because the question that arises with me is, okay, you're nearly guaranteed. Do I really know what that means? No, I don't. Especially when they use other words like you're almost guaranteed. Okay, I don't really know the difference. To be honest, you're almost guaranteed. You're nearly guaranteed. Okay, well, now I'm trying to get a dictionary and break down exactly the two differences in those words, and it's just ridiculous. And then does your guy increase that rating if he has A, B, and C ratings or what have you? You know, there's a lot of questions that go in with that. And the other big thing of why we wouldn't recommend this one is because of the fact that no coach in history who is at a high level, even at the high school level, is coaching the receivers as the number one thing that you need to focus on is breaking the first tackle after you catch the ball. None of them. Yak is just an added bonus. That isn't the, hey, this is what we're teaching them. We're teaching them to run good routes and to catch the ball. After that, it's all just extra pudding. Okay, so yak 'em up is not one that we recommend. So rack 'em up is not bad. This is a close second, but this is not the most important catch. The double me is. When they enter the zone, this ability increases their success rate on aggressive catches against single coverage. That's why it says double me. Because if you have a single guy on you, that's the style of catch. You want to have the guy who's going to get up there, get the ball, grab it, snag it out of the air, and bring it in. Okay? I want the guy to win the aggressive catch, because then it's going to rely on your awareness, your catching in traffic, your CIT. It's going to rely on your spectacular catch, depending on the animation and how the ball is thrown. And it's going to rely on your catching, right? If he's open, he's open. It's going to just hit all the ratings that apply that need him to catch the ball, right? Okay, so if you go into his traits as well, you're not going to want to see he drops open passes. However, if I come across a guy that says he drops open passes, if he's good enough, I'm still going to keep him. But this, look at his traits. He already has aggressive catch. He has a possession catch. He has a run after catch. And if he doesn't have the aggressive catch, but he has a possession catch, you for sure need to do double me. 100% you need to do double me, because you're increasing his weaknesses. Okay, or you're decreasing his weaknesses. I keep saying that. For some reason, I'm stuck on that. But even if he had aggressive catch and didn't have possession catch, I'm still going double me, because I want to win those one-on-one battles. I want to be able to feel more confident throwing to that guy that he's going to win that aggressive catch, because that is the hardest catch to catch, is that aggressive catch. It's the hardest. Possession catch, these guys are doing it all the time in practice. You throw it to them, they're doing it all the time. The aggressive catch is that one that is the most dangerous catch, and you want to make sure your guy is the best at the most dangerous catch. Okay, so without a doubt, double me is going to be the one we recommend. Now, for your superstar ability, there are several ones that you can go for. I mean, you could just do so many different ones that it just will make your head spin. I mean, it really will, how many different ones you can do and apply for certain guys, right? So for like matchup nightmare here, this one is good for slot guys. If you have a really good slot guy and, you know, you look at your packages, what you're running with your slot guys, and you're like, man, he really is getting covered quite a bit by linebackers, then this one may be a possibility for you to go and choose. But this depends on the single person and their playbook and their gameplay. You know, what do they do with this guy? And you should know that, because like we said, not one size fits all. There's a guy I may change his first slot ability, Superstar slot ability, because, you know, he A, B, and C. There you go. There's that. And, you know, there's also other ones that you can go with and say, well, you know, I throw to this guy a lot here, and I may go with recuperation. That may be one. Now, these aren't the two that we're necessarily going to recommend, but this is one that you might go and say, hey, I noticed that he's incredibly tired a lot, and I don't get as much production out of him because how tired he is. Well, then you may want to switch and do recuperation. Okay, but this is something that you guys need to know and how your gameplay, and you need to be able to see, react, and feel what's going on the field with all these different players, especially the guys you're paying $200 million for. So for your first slot ability, there is a lot you can do. Now, there are people that do like the mid-out elite, the mid-in, the deep-in, but the one thing you have to ask yourself is how much am I actually throwing that route, right? Or how much is he actually running that route? If it's 20% of your game, 40% of your game, it may not be worth it, because if it's not a deep in elite, you know, are you going to get the same effects? The other thing too you got to think about is your individual Madden settings, because if I have a guy who's getting tired a lot because my fatigue settings are set, you know, too high, or I have the rolling fatigue set on and then I get into the playoffs and my guys are just winded, I may end up doing two different abilities during the regular season, and once we hit the playoffs, if I notice my guy's tired, I may go with recuperation because I get more reps out of my best guys. What's better than that? Nothing. Okay, so there's times I may change it and then change it back, and that's plenty fine. I mean, that is okay. And there's a lot that are good, right? Like the red zone threat. When in the zone, receivers with this ability have a better chance to win contested catches against single coverage. Now, this one's good. I like it a lot. This is one of the ones that when we had it, we said, this is it. This is the one. This is what we're going to recommend. However, when we tested out Slot-O-Matic, we were like, well, honestly, I mean, think about what you're getting here. So when lined up in the slot, receivers with this ability make faster cuts and have better hands when catching passes less than 10 yards. That's red zone. You get into the red zone, this is going to ignite. This is red zone, but also you make better cuts. So you have better catching and you make faster cuts. Literally, you're getting the red zone package within this, but then this also is outside of the red zone. This is when you get into the red zone. This is up until the red zone, and then once you get into the red zone. So I love Slot-O-Matic. So how it looks right now is the double me. Then we have the Slot-O-Matic. And once again, think about the recuperation. And I would change the second one if I had to add in the recuperation ability at some point in the year to get more out of my receiver. But for the second slot ability, there's a lot. There's a lot to look at here, but there's one that we really like because it makes your guy even better. A guy who's already deadly, and that's Bruiser. Because this is exactly what Yak 'em Up is right here, basically. Ball carriers with this ability have more powerful truck and stiff arm animations. Okay, you not only have to where your guy is Slot-O-Matic in the first 10 yards to where he is not easy to cover. Then you have he can catch aggressive passes. And then you have, once he catches it, that dude's going to punch you in the mouth. That is just a nasty combo for a wide receiver. And I know it's weird for a wide receiver to have these, but it just makes a wide receiver that it's like, well, this guy is doing this to me. Bruiser is one that we recommend. There's other ones that aren't too bad. You can go evasive, kind of make them, a little bit better. But honestly, a lot of these guys already have really good COD. You got to think about the COD. These guys are better at running backs than running backs are. And if you like running backs, how they run, really good running backs, you're going to love wide receivers because they're even more elusive. Their COD is insane, okay? So evasive's not bad, but I'm not going to put it on a guy who's already the best at that, right? Route Technician is one that I do like. I enjoy Route Technician. But I'm telling you what, Bruiser is just one that I love throwing in that pie because not only you're aggressive catching, you're really hard to stop within 10 yards, which is usually where you need them because, let's say, 4th down and 2, 3rd down and 4, whatever, you need a guy to catch the ball. That you're going to go for this guy with the Slot-O-Matic, and then on top of it, he catches the ball, and he's going to, do the nasty work outside of that. Just beautiful. absolutely beautiful, and we've had the most success with this combo. Now, this isn't the only combo. If I had to switch one in the playoffs, because my guy's getting too tired, I would switch Bruiser over the Slot-O-Matic, and I'd put Recuperation there. But, yeah, this is flat out the best, and this is the exact same one we'd recommend for tight end. Okay, the exact same one we'd recommend for tight end. I'm not going to recommend the blocking because blocking is too easy to get right. It's already such a low. Look at fullbacks. It's already so low. The bar is set so low for you to be able to block. Okay, you're talking like 60 blocking, and you're like, well, okay, that's not too terrible. 60 blocking. You don't have. It's not back in the old days in Madden where you had to get that high blocking to where it actually had to work. No, it doesn't. You don't need to block a guy for 5 seconds. The play's already over by that time almost. Okay, the average play is what, like 6 seconds? You just need to hold the guy long enough to be able to get through it and get around him. And even if you have high blocking, no saying you're actually going to block the guy. How many times have we seen Madden's trailer alone? You see all these guys missing wide open blocks, and they're acting like the defensive guy did something instead of the offensive guy just went blind for a second. These are the ones we recommend, even with tight end, hands down. This is what we recommend. Hope you guys enjoy.